Very good evening, dear viewers watching this match on the ATA YouTube channel. It is pretty much one of the action that you have really been waiting for. When Caesar takes on Hazard, you know that it's rivalry at its maximum best. This match is the winners bracket final in the ongoing ATA All Ugandan Super 8-man competition being played in international 8-ball rules in preparation for the African Ultimate Pool Championships coming up this coming week in exactly 5 days from now at in the district that is called Mbombela, Mpumalanga province in South Africa. Now, the winners bracket final is a race to 13. The two players involved in this match are the only two that are yet to lose a match in this competition. The loser, whoever it will be between Hazard and Caesar, will drop to the losers bracket where they will be awaited by Joseph Kasozi, where they will play out a losers bracket final. Then winner of that losers bracket final shall be taking on the winner of this match, either Hazard or Caesar, but whoever will be winning this ongoing game will have their two lives intact in the final. The race is 13. The prize for the victory is once again a place in the grand final and with two lives. First frame of the match, Caesar 0 and Hazard 0, race to 13 in 1 hour and 50 minutes. That is exactly 150 minutes. Looks like a lot of time. It is not 150, actually it is 110 minutes. We still have a losers bracket final in the ladies category coming up next between Rukia Naiga and Amina Faith Nganda. Thereafter, we shall have the two grand finals. We shall thereafter have the two grand finals in the men's and ladies category. Remember, Rashida Mutesi, the lady, is into the grand final of the ladies event with 2 lives. So whoever will be winning between Amina and Rukia will have to defeat her twice or else succumb to second place. So the task between Amina and Rukia is that either of them will have to win 3 more matches for them to become champion, but for Rashida, she has to win just 1 more. That one will be the benefit of whoever will be winning this match, having to win just 1 more, while the opponent will need to win 3 if they are to become champions. So we are still watching top class pool up to around 11 p.m. East African time tonight. Thereafter, these players will be involved in yet another preparatory comp that will be played at Roxbury as a one-day comp tomorrow. Focus for now is on this one as Hazard looks set to try and defeat Caesar. Second time in exactly 3 days that these two guys are facing off in a comp of 2 lives, and in the final 3 days ago, racing to 7 in the final of the Super 16-man comp that was organized at Kamba Sports Arena. Yes, once again, race to 7. It was Hazard at one time led by 4 frames to 1. He didn't win any other frame. At that point, the beast mode in Caesar came out and won the match by 7 frames to 4. Still some kind of talking point on several social WhatsApp platforms. But on this YouTube platform, Hazard is going for what could be a first clearance. He will be mindful of the red that is the yellow that is so close to red and black at just that point where the black spot is. There is the point. This camera angle is to demonstrate to us indeed that the yellow is portable to the corner pocket bottom left. Hazard will draw the cue ball backwards, naturally moving it towards around the middle point of the table, off the cushion, just in the middle but a little bit leftwards. With him now aiming to put the yellow to the corner pocket bottom left with backspin and with power such that he can play the cue ball into either red or black to split the black open. And does exactly so. Beautiful cueing from the guy that is called the Truth. He's just about to take the lead, make it 1 frame to nil for himself exactly what you need to do when taking on Caesar. You need to start well. Hazard starts well. He leads by 1-0. Thank you for watching. Johnson Zweli. MX. Thank you for watching as well. Ivan Federa. You think Caesar is not winning against Hazard today? We are yet to see whether your guess will come right. Wesley Raymond Jr., of course, supporting Hazard, not because you love Hazard so much, but because you don't love Caesar so much. Okay, not so much. And Dean Andrew. Thank you for watching. Yes, both of them are very good players. They are. You are very right. Mahomes Abias supporting Caesar. Thank you for watching. And Ben J. Matongo always watching. You're asking what's the benefit of having 2 lives in the final. When you have 2 lives in the final, you have to be defeated twice to lose the tournament. For instance, now that Hazard is losing, if he wins this match, he will need to win 1 more match before he can become champion. But the same for Caesar, and I'm assuming that Hazard is winning this match. If Caesar loses, he shall first have to defeat Joseph Kasozi in the losers bracket final. Then he will have again to defeat Hazard twice in the grand final. That's the thing with double elimination competition. Basijirenda Jonas, thank you for watching. I believe the sound is now better. Young and drunk. Also, thank you for watching and following and appreciating the stream. And now Hazard will be appreciated if he finishes off this frame. Not so easy, but he may need a frame opening shot, play the cue ball, try and put red perhaps to the center pocket right, with the cue ball being played into the yellow that is touching the red. Not exactly touching, but so close to the red, just like that. Hopefully for him, he didn't want to put it. The fact that he has gotten the red sunk leaves him with a lot more work to do. And if he misses, you fear for him losing the frame in Caesar's next visit of the table. Second time, a comp is being played in Ugandan pools in ultimate rules in Uganda. The first one was won by Caesar. That is Stephen Sentongo, one of the directors of the ATA. There goes Hazard going for the bank, but he misses his shot on the bank. Should be the second time in the competition that Caesar is visiting the table, meaning this match. And yes, he gets to make a ball. Leaves the cue ball so close to the yellow, perhaps he hasn't gotten his pattern good. He's most likely to be playing some kind of safety. He intended to go safe. He's relatively safe, but not perfectly safe. Hazard does find his red off the cushion successfully. Frame is poised and not so much in balance, bigly in favor of the player on the yellows, who is the same player wearing the yellow anyway. The yellow kit that Caesar is donning, which has been the kit that is being donned by the female players in this competition as Hazard fouls, is the training kit for the national pool team. I've seen them train a number of times. They also have 2 extra kits for match sessions in South Africa. And then the white is the playing kit, most especially for these men, but also for the ladies in this competition, courtesy of the ATA. Now that was so close to cue ball being sunk, but it doesn't favor Hazard whatsoever that the ball wasn't sunk. Caesar will still have the cue ball in hand, but he has only one visit of the table. Playing the yellows, there is a dead yellow on the table, the one that is behind the red. That is why perhaps he may want to play another shot instead, maybe play a yellow towards the corner pocket top right. Perhaps the cue ball goes for the yellow instead and doesn't put it, but displaces Hazard's red from that same pocket and replaces with his own. If Hazard can make a ball somehow, you think that he will be in business. There is nothing like a free shot in ultimate rules. There's nothing like two shots. There is simply a loss of turn in a normal foul, and yet in a standard foul, oops, that was not a standard foul, it was just a standard shot. How good can the truth be at the time when it matters the most? That was quite beautiful, quite clinical, quite well executed. Potting with power and on target, playing the cue ball with even more power, splitting another red open. You just hope that that kind of beauty of shooting tantamounts into him winning the frame. And he's playing so well so far. His determination, his character, his body language is of someone who has come ready to give Caesar a challenge of his life. Oh no. After playing two clinical shots, then the third, which is the easier of the three, but the most effective of them all, maybe the only effective of them all, Hazard has got to miss. Caesar shot as though he wasn't all that sure that he was going to put, spinning the cue ball backwards to a position where Hazard wouldn't put black with ease. Nonetheless, Caesar going for the clearance. I don't see him playing any kind of safety here. It is not his kind of game. But the fact that he has chosen, oops, maybe he didn't want to put. He's not queuing well, and he's facing a relatively more confident Hazard. And after Caesar conceding frame number 2, it is now Hazard leading by 2 frames to nil. There is a whole of 1 hour and 35 minutes for which to play. But yes, from the Hazard perspective, he has started as the faster player out of the blocks, maybe the second time in just 3 days that he wins the first 2 frames in a match against Caesar. It's now Hazard 2 and Caesar 0. We are waiting to see in which kind of mode Caesar is. Maybe this frame will give us a clearer clue. Maybe it will be finished with ease at the end of the day. At this spot, among all venues that there are in the country, those that organize major comps, perhaps is his best hunting ground. In the space of the last 1.5 years, he has played 4 comps here and a few money matches and has won them all. This one would be his first failure if he didn't win, but maybe he's starting to come back. He's halved Hazard's lead. After winning with 1 visit of the table, it's now Caesar 1 and Hazard 2. Then the confident looking face of Hazard. I like that bravery. For me, he's one of the most necessary figures in Ugandan pool. He makes the competitive fraternity, he makes the competitive fraternity complete. You always need that crazy character, that I don't care attitude of a player, that player that has beef with other players, that player whom, when defeated, refuses to give a handshake to the opponent, but yet that player is a very good player. Now that player is Hazard. He's like the unwanted shadow for most of his opponents. They always want to get rid of him, but most of the times he just doesn't let them. But there is one player who doesn't need the opponent to let him in, because he normally lets himself in. Now that opponent is this guy. He went 2 frames to kneel down, and then he won a frame by red apple, and then in the very next moment he's now on the verge of winning yet another frame by green apple, the very way that he knows how to best. Just like that, Hazard's lead has disappeared in thin air. Caesar 2 and Hazard 2 race to 13 in the amount of time left, that is just over 1 hour and 31 minutes. Our umpire is Farida Hadija. Naturally, working alongside Henry Joko, match commissar. There's also another umpire called Vincent Molinda. We just call him Kags. Now there are these side bets that are happening between the fans. You probably know the guy that calls himself Francis Rugambaji. We call him Messi. He likes side betting. This time he's side betting with Paul Kalema. The bet they're having, Paul Kalema, for each frame is for Caesar to win the frame without Hazard reaching black, without Hazard finishing his own color of balls. The first 2 frames were won by Messi. The next 3 have been won by Kalema. But for the last 3 frames, what you've been witnessing, apart from that drama, is the fact that there has been one player pretty much playing against himself, winning all 3 frames by apples red and green. There's some silence now at the venue as though people are not believing their eyes. That's what Caesar can sometimes turn himself into against fellow top shooters in the country. At least this time around, from a hazard perspective, Caesar gets to break dry. But both players have so far been shooting very well. The 3 frames in a row that Caesar has won, Hazard hasn't gotten a chance perhaps to play at all, besides that one break. And then there were 2 frames that were won by Hazard initially, with Hazard winning one of them by Apple. At the second, Caesar missing one ball and Hazard making a clearance. It is still early days, but yes, pretty much, at least so far, one of the most, and I'm saying one of the games that have been played so far for the first 5 frames at the highest level in the competition. A few members in courts in Uganda's pro royalty starting to grace the venue. Ismail Kalibala is the chairman of a team in the league that is called Sinkers, also former tournament director of the Polo Association of Uganda. Other club chairpersons, fans, they love it when it's top players shooting out against each other and when it is latter stages of the competition. The coach of the Uganda national pool team, Nathan, is at the venue. He has just witnessed another of those misses. You are watching the ATA Super 8-man Ugandan competition that has been organized to prepare players for the African Ultimate Pool Championships that are coming up at Ebundu Lounge, Mbombela District, Mpumalanga Province, in the Rainbow Nation of South Africa. The whole of the Ugandan team of 8 men and 8 ladies that are participating in this competition did secure South Africa visas yesterday. But there is still a continuation of efforts to secure air travel. The idea is to travel with Uganda Airlines this coming Saturday morning aboard a direct flight to the Oliver Tambo International Airport and then a road trip to Mpumalanga. And then perhaps by Saturday evening they should be at the venue and then have 2 nights there before action starts on Monday morning. So please pardon the network. The OBS system that updates, the scoreboard is updated with the internet, with the OBS system, and certainly works with fast internet. When it slows, the scoreboard is affected. And when it slows, sometimes even the stopwatch is affected. But Hazard is not slow. He's demonstrating that maybe the 3 frames won by Caesar all in a row did not affect him. He now has his work cut out. He has 2 well-positioned yellows, 1 dead, the one that is bottomwards of them all. He may probably want to play the white ball into it, better still play the cue ball into the space between yellow and red. It is the shot he's trying to play. If he gets it right, he'll be in business. Off the cushion. I think it was okay from this camera angle. Probably there is no clear passage of the cue ball to the corner pocket top left. There is no shadow of a doubt in the skill quality that was applied by the truth. He has gotten his 10-second extension. Now we are working rather manually. The umpire using his manual system to time the shots, and not exactly the OBS system, till the network is restored to full. But still okay. There are stopwatches around, and every smartphone has a stopwatch after all. Here comes Caesar. Playing the reds, wanting to put one to the center pocket on the left. Cue ball being moved to the top end of the table, playing red into yellow, coming short of putting the yellow, though it was his intention. Making his work a little harder. Sometimes I like seeing him in trouble during frames. When he's in trouble, that's where you see all of those highlights that are flowing all over social media every time his matches come live. Now he has this big shot to play. And he puts the next shot will try to find white. For now, that dead red. Perhaps he has played with a little bit too much energy for the fact that there is a big cut between red, white, and cushion. I'm not so sure white will be natural if he gets the target right. And there goes the miss. And there goes the opportunity for the truth to equalize against the scorpion. No doubt it has been the frame that has been played for the longest amount of time in the match so far. For Hazard, the amount of time that has been taken in the match is just about to be justified. Cue ball has to be played right along the rail using the cushion to support its movement. That is pinpoint accuracy. From this kind of range, even Moses Bukenya will put. But Hazard won't miss. Hazard 3 and Caesar 3. Race to 13. And now how about this for a break? How often does a break come this powerful? Now there is one match that I recorded just about 3 years ago. It was between a player that is called Yuda Sembo Dembaba. He was taking on Joseph Kasozi. It was a decider. I remember Dembaba putting 4 reds on the break. Then he decided to play the yellows instead. They were 7 in number and won the frame by apple. Hazard is trying to do exactly that. He's just spotted 3 yellows on the break with all yellows in pretty good space. He's choosing to go for the reds, and yet it could come up with the same exact result as though he would have fancied the yellows. And it's a sign of the level of play of these guys nowadays. He may either have to go for too much precision as he puts red to the center pocket on the left, or go for power, play it towards the top cushion and move it back towards the middle. He has played with a little power and perfect precision. He may have to replicate the shot he's just played now with very little power, moving the cue close to the black, maybe playing white into black, just like that. The rest is a formality. The truth 4, the Scorpion 3, rest 13 in 1 hour. And 10 minutes. Guys, there is a network glitch that is kind of failing the OBS system that does have the scoreboard and the ticking clock. It's the reason why you're not having the scoreboard, but there'll be no doubt in this because the match is live. Every black potted is live. It is 4-3. It is the truth in the lead. The truth is trying to make it 5. He's the crazy guy within the camp of Team Roxbury. He's the crazy guy within the national team. He's the crazy guy of Ugandan pool. And you can be sure that the match shall not end without those usual hazard antics. He has gotten his 10-minute extension as he has taken off some seconds to kind of ask the umpire not to count time down when he's aiming for a shot. Then you wonder what the umpire can do anyway. Time is always called as players are involved in the shot, so because it's ultimate pool rules, but there's too little time allocated, and every time players will be aiming to play. There has been a foul, however, it seems Hazard played without his mind being in one place. He had just been arguing with the official. He didn't play with maximum concentration. He perhaps did not even choke the tip of his cue stick. He ended up miscuing and could pretty much be ending up losing the frame. The rules will remain the rules, and there is still a manual stop clock. And this is Caesar playing his equalizing frame. It will be the second time in the match that he's equalizing. He's a little bit not comfortable with his cue ball. He may have to play the cue ball with some kind of precision here. It cannot be any more precise than that. The most likely shot now is top spin. Cue ball following the yellow all the way. He wants to put black to the center pocket on the left. A little bit of a cut between white and black, but it will be okay. It will surely be okay. White is safe, black is not. There comes the miss. The Perhaps one of those few signs in this match that maybe Caesar is not at his best, at least for the start of the match. The 3 frames he has won in this match so far were all won by respective apples, red and green. But there's 1 frame that he lost, courtesy of an unforced error. This one would be the second if Hazard makes a clearance of these 3 reds and perhaps the black. Now having to put the red, which is bottomwards of the 2, to the corner pocket bottom right, drawing the white ball backwards, perhaps with left spin, cue ball bouncing off the cushion. He's perhaps contemplating change of mindset, playing the top red first. He'll have to play top spin again, cue ball bouncing off the cushions at the top and right, top, right, perfect. Having now the relatively easier work of putting red to the corner pocket bottom right, but with a little bit of power and too much of left spin on cue ball bouncing off the cushion on the right and moving leftwards towards the top end of the table, just like that. The frame is gone away from Caesar. It is now Hazard 5, Caesar 3. Once again, in this top class match, Hazard Lukomwa W the Truth is leading by 5 frames to 3 against Caesar Chandiga W the Scorpion, racing to 13 in 1 hour and 10 minutes in the ongoing ATA Super 80-man Ugandan comp, playing ultimate rules at Addis Sport in Chireka. Here I want to be certain that Caesar has passage of his yellow, perhaps off cushion and off red, off cushion, off red, but not in. These are the chances that Hazard has been leaving off, perhaps all through the match. Maybe sometimes to go for a shot that's tricky, it is always better not to play it last. Perhaps instead, play a shot that opens up that yellow, other than play it as the last shot when it is a do or die kind of thing, when you're queuing against a guy in the kind of vein of form that Hazard is in now, one of those times when I think that Caesar has not been spot on with his pattern. Hazard will try and ensure that every chance that comes this good, he will be utilizing it to his full potential. This is the guy that became a renowned player as way back as 2016, the whole of 9 years ago. Actually, it's now 10 because we knew him early 2015. Now we'll want to put both reds to the same corner pocket bottom left, because once he rolls the red close to the white, the cue ball will kind of be natural for the last red, yes, to the same corner pocket. And it is as natural can be. The little bit of a problem is that if he simply rolls, cue ball will be so close to the cushion, so he needs some power and some spin effect. That is the shot. Hopefully it doesn't put to the center pocket. That is the might of Lukomwa Hazard. And he's looking serious every step of the way. Representing Dice Lounge, representing Roxbury, representing himself. The truth is in meaningful business here. He has double scores in terms of his vis-a-vis Caesars, and after 9 frames now Hazard leads by 6 frames to 3. Yes, it is Hazard on 6 and Caesar on 3, racing to 13.
Hazard 6, Caesar 3, rest to 13, 96 minutes. Okay? Lukomwa hazard 7, Chandiga Caesar 3, 52 minutes remaining. Nenga ingine lede siyaze, alimu VIP. Aba VIP to magala kwa. Sensene team hiyo. Manda ilo kuna tulitunda wa meno. But next game is the final of the losers bracket in the ladies. That is Amina Faye against Naiga Ukia. Rest to 11.
And now Hazard has gotten himself to at least halfway the journey. Maybe this match for him represents the best opportunity he would have gotten for the space of the last year to defeat Caesar. In the year that was 2023, there are about 4 victories for Hazard against Caesar. 2 of them were money matches in which Hazard was, I want to say, stubbornly by Caesar. He started with +6. He did win both matches, the first at Dice Lounge in Kampala, the rematch for $1,200 at Climax, again in Kampala. Of course, Hazard being stubborn enough now to accept the match without any hard start, and Caesar winning by the whole of 21 frames to 20. However, there was the final of the Cream de la Cream 16-man comp again at Dice Lounge in 2023, won by Hazard, defeating Caesar in the final, racing to 16 by 16 frames to 10. Those were 3 times. The 4th was the final of a weekly comp that was played in the suburb of Kamocha. Another final in a weekly comp that was played in the town of Nansana in Uganda at the venue that is called Hashtag. 5 times in 1 year. There were about 2 times more that Caesar did win. That is, I'm saying 2 + 5, making it 7. A few weekly comps in a few finals and earlier rounds of the competition, plus of course that money match at Dice Lounge. Here at Addis, there have been 2 finals organized by the ATA, one of the Super 8-man Ugandan Comp First Edition, then the Super 8-man First Edition of Africa that had players from Tanzania, Kenya, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Uganda, and Zambia. Both were won by Caesar with victories over Hazard in the final. There was also that humiliating 9-1 drubbing at a comp that was organized at Amigos in Kampala in the round of last 8 very early this year. And yet Caesar now is attempting to pull one back. He's bigly down by 4 frames, not insurmountable, but at least Hazard is having a healthy lead. Caesar could have himself snookered. Let us observe from another angle if there is passage between white and black. It seems there is, but I don't think he can play it enough to put it. That's why he's playing off cushion, finds black, and misses the pot. At least for Hazard, he gets a chance to play again in the frame. I, however, think he needs somewhat a defensive shot. He needs to snooker Caesar at least once. Maybe the yellow ball close to the center pocket on the left. Have the cue ball slide against it. Move the cue ball towards the top end of the table. If he can play snooker, he would have a chance as good to win the frame. There goes the extension of 10 seconds for Hazard, who does play as though he were listening to me and gets to snooker Caesar. If Caesar finds the black, Hazard will be playing in the position of the white. Caesar probably wants support, that's why he's playing the left cushion first. He wants not only to find the black, but also pot it. It could come through. He has found the black, but hasn't potted. Here comes Hazard. He probably wants the cue ball at the right end of the table, where it will perhaps be a total snooker. I don't think he's playing with intention to pot. He wants the cue ball extremely rightwards, just like that. Maybe it's not a total snooker. But Caesar is instead deciding to play off cushion. Will probably find the black, could pot it. He has found it, though it hasn't got sunk. But it was a foul because Caesar was having sight of the black, deciding to play off cushion only by choice. And of course, in ultimate rules, whether or not there is sight of the intended object ball, there has to be contact between white or black and cushion after the first contact by the player. Hazard was hampered by the amount of time he took before the shot. He has already used up his extension. He must use the time effectively. For the shot, for the loss of turn by Caesar, Hazard's resulting shot wasn't that good, I have to say. And the clock is ticking. You can see the 1-2 seconds left. He narrowly survives the foul, but he has played quite effectively. And he has gotten a very deep breath. There are some folks claiming he did foul. From where I'm watching, it looks as though he played just before time had elapsed. Now Caesar has 3 seconds to play. Yes, he has played. Will he find black? No, he won't. It is loss of turn, not just loss of turn. Hazard will be having the cue ball in hand, having one relatively bad ball on the table, that red which is rightwards of them all. If he can find a way to put it, he will be good for yet another frame. The clock is ticking. He has to be reminded. Now he's contemplating playing bank shot, pot red to the center pocket on the left, off the cushion on the right. If he does, probably he will get a round of applause from some of the fans. There goes the bank. Very successful. From the ambience, you can probably hear the round of applause. The truth is meaning business, and meaning business even better here. He will be finishing yet another frame. He's turning himself into some kind of favorite in this match. Yes, Hazard wins yet another. He leads by 8 frames to 3. The situation at hand is one of those very few times when Caesar is having a 5-frame deficit in Kampala. It doesn't happen all the time. I don't even remember the last time I saw a match with the scores having its current projection with Caesar 5 frames down. I have to be frank with you, I don't remember. He does have one relative problem ball, that yellow which is close to black. If it's portable to the corner pocket from this camera angle at the top left, he will be good in business. He's deciding to play it fast. Yes, he pots and plays the cue ball to near perfection. He may now need the cue ball at the top end of the table, but on the left, because he will need to pot black. The corner pocket now top left where he's having his body. That is the shot. Pinpoint accuracy. After all those frames lost in succession, Caesar gets to pull one back. It is now 4-8. Hazard still in the lead after an apple from Caesar.
In the GI a special way, the ambassador is in the building. Director Advanced Talent Agency, Manager Statement. Former Tournament Director, Barak Ismail.
Hazard is breaking for the 7th time in the match. Hits the pyramid. He seems to have broken dry. He has actually sunk in one red, leaving an open table pretty much with the reds positioned. Although there's a little bit of a trick in the red that is so close to the yellow, just near the black spot. He will be having that red in mind as he tries to go for the frame and tries to go for it by break and finish. He's been so determined today. And for most of the match, he's been the better player. Caesar has won 4 frames, 3 of them with apples. But for most of the times, Hazard has been utilizing his chances better, sometimes way better. Now this is the big shot he may have to play now. He has sight of only one red, the one that is bottomwards of them all. If he puts the red to the corner pocket bottom right, with a little bit of left spin on the cue ball, he may have to bounce it off the cushion, play it to the red, which is touching yellow. Like that, it will be unfortunate that in the end he has gotten himself snookered. Maybe he would have gone for kind of less power, just to make sure that he simply splits up the red and leaves the cue ball in space. But more certain than not, that was more of a sheer misfortune, as Hazard off the cushion does find the red. At least he doesn't foul. The 40-second rule applies, and how it is applying in equal measure, as the hunter is now hunted, as Caesar is down by 8 frames to 4. A tournament that he has been winning in succession, winning the first 2 editions of it. In the 3rd edition, he may have to do exactly what he did in the 2nd if he were to win it, because he lost his first life in the semi-finals. He used the losers bracket to come back and win the comp. He may have to do exactly that unless he can mount a comeback against Hazard. Otherwise, if he doesn't, then we shall be watching Caesar playing next in the losers final against Joseph Kasozi, and then him trying to defeat Hazard. If he defeats Kasozi, he will again have to defeat Hazard and defeat him more than once. But for now, Caesar is winning a 2nd consecutive frame for the 2nd time in the match. Caesar 5 and Hazard 8. We are having our first 3 minutes time out of the match, as requested by Hazard, maybe rightly so, to calm Caesar down. Commentary will be resuming with a resumption of play.
Dear Mama, where are you? Dear Mama is in the building. Captain Toro Tigers, Katika Bulls in the building. Awamu VIP. Ambassador Sisitaina Cheyafinye. That's cool. But I want to guys it with your opinion. I was also going to Manager Director Clear Mind, Gasco Uganda, Iwana Himalaya, Manager Gas, Mupabiko, Nagas Grand Izona, Total Shell, Free Promoter, and Free Delivery. Katika programa kwetu gasi toro kusikana mmoja. But we did Kampala to free delivery. It is 8-5 Lukomwa Hazard in the front seat, rest to 13. 33 minutes remaining. Next game coming up is the ladies Roses Bracket final. Nigel here against Amina Faye. Montesira Shida is through to the grand final with 2 lines.
Welcome back, dear viewers. After this action, meanwhile, we are going to be having the ladies losers bracket final. It shall be played between Amina Faith Nganda, captain of the Uganda national pool team, taking on Rukia Naiga. The winner will be awaited by Rashida Motesi, who can lose victory of the tournament only if she is defeated twice by whoever qualifies from the losers bracket. That is the same exact opportunity that will be upon whoever wins this match between Hazard and Caesar. A 10-second extension has been granted to Caesar. He has to be in the know that even the 10 are not big enough. The clock remains ticking. He probably wants to play defense. And there goes the defense. I cannot say it was a very successful defense. The yellow closest to the cue ball is portable. Hazard will be playing it with backspin because then naturally the cue ball is played into the red, which is closest to the yellow. If the cue ball will be good for another yellow to be potted, he will probably be good in business to win the frame. I'm not so certain that yellow is possible between black and Joe to the center pocket on the left. This camera angle will show us if perhaps it can't, unless he cheats the pocket so bigly. It's what he's trying to do. Very suspect in my opinion. It was always going to be very difficult. His game reading hasn't been so good. In this case, he should have opted for something different. And now he knows that courtesy of that, he is losing the frame. And you don't let Caesar come back to you with the whole of more than 28 minutes to go. The lead that Hazard had about 4 frames is just to be cut to just half of that, because as long as Caesar is able to make a clearance of the reds, which he surely will, he will be within 2 frames of Hazard now. The pot of the black to the center pocket at the top will be a formality. Caesar 6 and Hazard 8. That is the musician and politician Tough B. Just wanted to bring in his close-up. That is umpire Farida Hadid Nachiride racking the frame for Hazard to break again. We shall watch the break from the overhead angle as Hazard aims, hits the pyramid. Looks like a dry break. Yes, Hazard has just broken dry. So this tournament is a win-win for these players. Very good practice for the upcoming Ultimate Pool Championships, but also an opportunity for them to win some money. The 3 players left in the competition will be the top 3 of the tournament in whichever order. Joseph Kasozi, Caesar Chandiga, and Hazard Lukomwa are assured of positions number 1 to 3. But I don't know who will be number 1 or 2 or 3. Ibrahim Sejemba will be 4th. Those 4 will be in the prize bracket. But again, the streamer and commentator who normally does it for the sake of doing it, this time is paid. Thank you for watching. Emma Texo, Wafula Ronald, you are asking for this place. Okay, Addis Sports Club, Chireka Town, in Kampala, off Shell fuel station in Chireka, the road that leads to Namugongo, a walking distance. You find SK House, and on the second floor is Addis. Paul Conrad, thank you for watching. You think Caesar is having fun? It's not yet fun. It can't be fun when you're trading by 2 frames against a player as good as Hazard. Not yet fun. And then Andrew, thank you for watching. Romeo, you think Caesar's breaks are reckless? MX, thank you for watching. Fred Wemesa, you think Hazard wants to waste time? There is no chance time can be wasted in ultimate rules. There is no chance. Actually, if you intend to play wasting time, you stand no chance perhaps of winning a frame unless your opponent isn't that serious. There is a snooker by Hazard. If Caesar misses the yellows, Hazard will be having the cue ball in hand. He does find one yellow and another. No better way to find the angle, especially leaving the cue ball pretty much dead with no ball of all the reds that can be potted with ease. Frame number 15 is so delicately poised. But Hazard, for the fact that he's the guy on table, you just think he has the edge. He has one relatively dead ball, that red, that is in between a few yellows at the area around the corner pocket bottom right, the one that is leftwards of the 2. After this, once again, these guys will be involved in another one-day comp, this time being organized at Roxbury in Kampala tomorrow. Thereafter, it will be just preparations for their travel to compete for victory of the African Ultimate Pool Championships coming up in South Africa, Mbombela District in Mpumalanga Province, starting next Monday. Here is Hazard again, with every chance of winning this ongoing frame in his current visit of the table. And now he has to put the red to the corner pocket, top right with power. Have the cue ball bounce off the cushion now on the left. The cut from this angle you can see is quite small. He may instead play backspin, bounce the cue ball off the cushion, move it towards the left end of the table that was played with a lot of spin and a lot of skill. Now an option of putting both red and black to the same corner pocket bottom right, maybe having the white ball bounce off the cushion at the bottom, being played into the yellow close to black to give him accurate white to put black to the center pocket on the left. Either of those two shots will do. From this camera angle, we see it with a lot of clarity. The effort, the skill, the execution by Hazard, and the cue ball being played into the black. Perhaps it's not what he wanted. His earlier intention was to have the cue ball being played into the yellow. He can recover by banking black to the center pocket on the right. I love to watch black balls played with the overhead angle. The producer obliges as Hazard aims. Will the bank be successful? It looks, yes it is. That's a round of applause from the fans, some of whom are now falling into love with Hazard, who has extended his lead. Again, it is 9 frames. He leads against Caesar's 6, racing to 13, but it's now 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes to go. And now there is this thing that is playing in Hazard's favor. The first edition of the Ugandan Super 8-man comp that was played in Ultimate Rules right here, Hazard led against Caesar with 4 frames. When it got to 15 minutes left, when it was 20 seconds per shot, Hazard did not win any other frame because Caesar is by far superior to all other players when it comes to playing with speed, combining it with accuracy. That's why Hazard still needs to extend his lead, even stretching it wider. And you just hope for him that he wins even this frame, because if it gets to that, and it is just 5 minutes away from the reduction of time taken between shots, and Caesar will hopefully be banking on that rule to win the match, it gives him a better chance, given the complexion of current scores, more than mounting a comeback and winning with 40 seconds to take per shot. This is the guy in the lead. He's dubbed the truth. And I know that his chairman, Mark Mozongo, is watching from Dice Lounge, his boss. And I know that if Hazard wins this match, Chairman Mark will reward us all, perhaps when the players return from South Africa, with the money match between Hazard and Caesar. He likes to call those. I just find myself receiving a phone call from him, and then I receive the stake, and then a poster is out, just like that. When he's happy, he entertains the continent. It is now the turn of his player to try and entertain the continent, and he's doing exactly so. After playing the cue ball into the dead yellow, there is every chance that Hazard is winning this frame as well in his current visit of the table. And the fact that the majority of the fans at the venue are Caesar fans, Hazard is successfully sponsoring the silence in the fans' stands. Now needing to put the penultimate yellow to the corner pocket top right where he's standing, has to do that in very little time, and not too much time to do the inspection. And then move the cue ball towards the middle of the table, off the cushion. This is beautiful poetry in motion from the truth. He needs one more big shot, which he'll be playing in relative is a shot similar to the one he has just played, this time using a little bit too much power, off two cushions, and again in perfect space. A few fans are appreciating his cueing style and stance and stroke and discipline on the table this time round. The perfection with which he's now to regain a 4-frame lead as he puts black again, winning another frame by break and finish. The truth is in meaningful business here. He leads by 10 frames to 6. Now it is just over 16 minutes to go. Maybe in the middle of the upcoming frame, the reduction in amount of time allocated per shot will come into play. That is where Caesar is an ultimate superior. I don't want this to look like the commentators curse.
Quarter 10. This is 13.
There is something that I just have in mind that could unfold with history trying to repeat itself. Within a nick of time, Caesar can make himself unbeatable. It is now 20 seconds to take its shot, and Caesar has just pulled one back. The whole of 14 minutes left to play. The lead has been cut down to 3. It is Caesar now 7 and Hazard 10. Here comes the break. However, a dry break it is. Hazard must be quick here. 20 seconds is not too much time. We have so far used 10. He has not yet played. He's leaving the table open. He has closed the table with the clock already beeping against him. He's playing the reds. And not an easily finishable frame, but still finishable by the guy that has been at least the better player for the duration of the match so far. The clock is ticking. He has gotten his guaranteed extension, but it can only be 1 per frame. It's only 10 seconds. He's trying to calm himself as much as he possibly can. And just like that, the clock is ticking again. He played with half a second to go. Will want himself to be calm within less than 10 seconds and then aim and play again. There is no time to think, there's no time to blink, there's no time to inspect, there's just time to play. It looked so close to a foul. It looked like a foul. The umpire has ruled it as a foul. Yes, Hazard played just after the clock had beeped. It was a time foul. Hazard will argue, but yes, it was a time foul. You can always play the video a little backwards. The clock is now ticking against Caesar. It's only 1 shot, but with the cue ball in hand placed to anywhere on the bed of the table. Just like that, he now has just 10 seconds to take the shot, and he intentionally plays a tactical foul. That one does work. Caesar has no option of lifting the cue ball. He plays the cue ball in its position, but has utilized it well enough, in my opinion. This is the time of the match where he becomes just a little too superior. It was a race to 11 when Hazard led against Caesar by 10 frames to 7. Caesar winning the last 4 in the first edition of the ATA Super 8-man Uganda Comp, which won in that very memorable final against the same player Hazard. This time they are facing off in only the winners bracket final, and yet Caesar is showing that when it comes to ultimate pool speed style, within the nick of time, 20 seconds to play the shots, he is pretty much the superior player, now on the verge of potting black for what will be the second time in the new time format. It's now Hazard 10 and Caesar 8 with 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes to 8.
You just hope from a Hazard perspective that he gets to win a frame in some kind of way. You must think quick, you must decide quick, you must inspect quick, and you must play quick. Just like that, it is less than 10 seconds to go, and yet he's still changing cue sticks around. He has asked for his extension before he could even play his first shot after the break, clearly meaning that he has issues playing the 20-second rule to his advantage. At least he has gotten to pot a ball. This time round, I think the 20 seconds have been utilized by Hazard quite good. The clock is ticking against Caesar. He will probably play defense, not even defense. He has gotten to make a ball. He'll be having the problem of that yellow, that red, that is in between two yellows, but he's still getting to pot. This reminds me of the match between him and Brian Kiptalam at Timbuktu. That is just if he gets to finish the frame, which is not a very big likelihood anyway. A defense safety shot will fathom, but Caesar does pot, bounce the cue ball off the cushion with a big spin. He has sight and ability to pot now, red close to black to the center pocket on the right. It wouldn't guarantee him cue ball for any of the would-be next reds on the table, but is the shot he's trying to play the red with strength, play the cue ball into the black. He goes for precision, goes for the bank, and misses. Chance for Hazard now. Just over 7 minutes left on the clock. As though Hazard is playing while having the clock in mind, he will simply perhaps want to play at the very elapse of the 20 seconds. And he has snookered and has snookered quite well. What we'll do for Caesar is any shot that doesn't get him to foul, neither to leave a frame that is open enough for Hazard to finish with ease. Off cushion, not off cushion. That shot is not defensive enough. It hasn't been well played at all. This one will be a chance for Hazard, in my opinion, to clear the frame. He has to execute this with speed. It is a very, very big opportunity. You think if he can utilize this and win the frame, the time left will be too little for Caesar to mount a comeback by winning what will be 3 frames in a row. That was so close to a foul, but I think this time he has played legal and okay. He played at the stroke of time, and I'm loving the fact that he's doing it with intention. He wants it in a way that he wins the frame, but wins it after killing off as many seconds as possible. For most of the time, utilizing 19 seconds out of 20 before the shot is taken. Here he is again, this time round deciding to win, just to win and win the frame, fair and square and smart. He will want to put black perhaps to the center pocket on the left. He has played with a little bit too much power, but I think he's okay. Black is passable to the corner pocket now from this camera angle at the top left. There he aims. Of course, he will be potting it and will be a big favorite now to win this match. Yes. He has gotten a round of applause from the fans. It was like an elephant in the room, as though he was not going to win any of the frames that will be played with this kind of format. At least he has won one, and with 5 minutes left, Caesar must win 3 frames in a row or else succumb to dropping into the loser's bracket. And how about that for a guy that is really feeling a sigh of relief, taking a big sip of water. Then back in the day, he was simply nicknamed Drink Water after the Leicester City then footballer Danny Drinkwater, because Hazard was drinking a lot of water between shots. He knows that he has won this match. He knows that he will at last be second in the competition. I'm saying at worst, not at last, at worst second. The big advantage of qualifying into the grand final with 2 lives is that you will most likely face a more tired guy in the finals final. Sometimes that's how it's called, because it is a grand final, and I'm assuming Hazard is winning this match. However, it will be between Caesar and Kasozi. Will have to beat him twice, and yet the two have to face off first. That means whether Kasozi or Caesar, with the assumption that Hazard is winning this match, will have to win 3 matches for them to win the tournament. But after this one, Hazard will need to win just 1. And if we can find a way to finish this frame, it will just be honorable that Caesar perhaps concedes the rest, because it will be just perhaps maybe 3 minutes or less, with Hazard leading by 4 frames. The match is gone away from the Scorpion. I will call it as victory for Hazard. And I will say that it's the first time in quite a long while. It has been such a while since Hazard last beat Caesar. And yet Hazard is now defeating Caesar at one of Caesar's most favorite venues. Perhaps the most favorite of them all, where he has participated in 5 tournaments in the space of the last 15 months, and winning them all. They are in between 2 money matches that he has as well won. He has suspiciously played the black so close to the yellow. May want to have white ball bounce off the right cushion, moving back leftwards. He has gotten himself snookered, at least partially. I just think he's okay, not because of just the scores, but the amount of time left in the match. Perhaps black could be portable if he can cut sharp to that center pocket now at the bottom of the screen. He's now asking for an extension. He's ensuring that before playing, he kills off as many seconds as possible. There he aims. He didn't miss the black. He hit it, but hit it so small he couldn't pot it. Everything that happens is just in his favor. There is no way in the world that Caesar will be winning 3 frames in 2.5 minutes. No way. And he's looking at the clock, not looking at the frame. The umpire is asking him to sit down. And Caesar, perhaps making sure that he wins this frame, maybe just to bring the score in a little bit of more respect. But he knows that this match has already been won by Hazard. This one is him. He will be conceding the frame. Of course he will. I like the fact that he has congratulated his opponent. It has been a deserved victory by Hazard, in my opinion, in what has been one of the best matches, if not the very best so far in the competition. At last, Caesar loses a match on Ugandan soil in Ultimate Pool rules. Caesar will drop to the losers bracket, where he will be playing with Joseph Kasozi, which match, if he does win, will be playing another grand final or 2 with Hazard to win the competition. Final score, Hazard 13 and Caesar 8.